Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hi. Today I'm going to talk about education and development. So, first I'm going to talk a little bit about the context. By the year 2000, the international community decided to implement some goals which they called the Millennium Goals. One of those goals was to make education universal. So the idea was that education would be able to improve economy and development. In order to take this goal to a whole new level, the Colombian government was able to raise the number of matriculated children in public schools. So nowadays there's only 1 million children out of the educational system service. So actually the 70% of these children live in rural areas. Unfortunately, these new improvements in the number of matriculated children did not help to improve also the quality in education. So the 65% of performance in the area of language in public schools is actually inadequate or minimum. As also it is the 77% in math and 75% in science. Do you know what this means? This actually means that children all over our country and all over around the world will be actually heartbroken when they grow up and find out that what they were doing in schools was to waste their time because they were not actually learning what they needed to learn in order to make their dreams come true. So here's where we actually meet a new challenge in education. Although the number of matriculated children in public schools has augmented, there is a lack of improvement in economy and development, so the Millennium Goals had not been met yet. Also, unfortunately, quality in public education has decreased, while the number of matriculated students has augmented. Several solutions have been implemented in order to try to overcome this challenge with this problem. First of all, the amount of resources invested in the acquisition of educational tools has augmented in order to acquire flip charts and books, but this has not improved the quality of education, unfortunately. In second place, diminishing the number of students per classroom has also been tried, but it hasn't actually improved the quality in education. It hasn't had a positive impact in the test scores of the students. This is because while the international community was thinking that diminishing the teacher-student ratio will actually improve the quality in education by giving each teacher more time with each student, what actually happened was that it didn't have a positive impact. It didn't make sense at all to reduce a class of like 40 children and just to expect that a miracle could happen and they somehow will learn more interesting and important things. And finally, also what some governments did was to subsidize computers to public schools to give new technological tools so they could improve their learning process. But this didn't have a positive impact either because the schools that received these computers did not have power supply to use them or didn't know how to use it for educational purposes. So they just use it for administrative tasks. So now, here's one cost-effective solution that has been implemented in India and that has actually had a positive impact in improving the quality of education. Since investment in educational tools like flip charts and more classrooms is not enough, some remedial educational programs like computer-assisted learning programs and tutors programs actually help to increase math and language scores of average students, which indicates improvements in the quality of education. This means that resources alone are not enough. Having money just to expect that this money will help children to learn more important things is not helping at all. As you can see in this picture, this is a school in India, in Vadodara, where there are some tutors, as you can see, some women, trying to teach these kids right here math and language. So as you can see, they don't even need a classroom to study, but still they're getting better scores in their tests. So what they actually need is remedial educational programs that can have an impact in their educational process. Now, talking about the evaluation of this solution, some randomized tests have been performed by the NGO Pratram in India, and these tests show a positive effect of the CAL program, the Computer Assisted Learning program, and also the Balsaki program, which is the tutors program. They show that both programs have had a positive impact in math scores of students and also in the language test scores of children. Unfortunately, this solution has not been tested in Colombia, although the School of Government here in the Universidad de los Andes is trying to implement a similar program in Villapinzón, a town near to Bogota. Here you can see a picture, where there are several small schools, but they don't have a consistent educational program that can actually help children to learn what they need to learn to become good citizens and good professionals. So yeah, that's a disadvantage, but taking into account that economically Colombia is in a very good position, this program could actually help to improve the quality of education in this country. So in conclusion, education will improve only if changes are made in the way in which teaching is directed.
Thank you. Just stay up there for a second. Does anybody have a question? And I forgot to mention that you'll need to ask one question at least this entire week. So everybody needs to think of a question for at least one person. So any questions for Camila?
What solutions can you implement with the other schools? For example, this is a program with the University of Los Andes and Villapinzón, but what can we do for the rest of the schools in the country?
Well, maybe you can remember a few years ago there was a commercial in national TV where they were asking people to donate computers to public schools. I don't know if you remember that. So the idea was that people with enough resources would be able to donate these computers to other public schools around the world. But unfortunately, the same problems that the Indian program had would actually occur here in Colombia. So computers could actually arrive to these public schools, but the schools wouldn't have an electric supply to use the computers, So they just leave the computers in a box because they didn't have the supply to use it. Also, there is not an educational software that actually meets the needs of the children here in our country. So it would be nice if, for example, I don't know, a systems engineer interested in this topic would actually develop a software that helps children in quite, I don't know, friendly fashion, teach them about math and language without making them feel bored or without making them feel also scared, about technology and this kind of stuff that actually are not very common in some places of our country, although we think that we're already in a good development and economical situation.
Okay, thank you. Great. Okay, good. Thank you.